If you've ever been walking around the University of Kentucky's campus or Woodland Park in the later evening hours, you might have noticed what seems to be like a lightsaber duel, and you'd be correct. This is no Jedi mind trick, this is the Lexington Saber League. Learn how the Force awakens in this group that trains in performance-driven improv dueling inspired by Star Wars. As national hands-off rallies continue to make their wave across America, hundreds of protesters gather in downtown Lexington to protest against Elon Musk, the Department of Government Efficiency, and President Donald Trump. Sophia Rosing has just been sentenced to jail for 12 months for physical assault. The former UK student can be seen on video publicly intoxicated, exclaiming racial slurs at former student and resident advisor Kyla Spring. Well, if you had plans on staying dry this week, unlike me, you can go ahead and scratch that off your to-do list. Because here in Lexington, we're seeing a rise in inclement weather, including violent winds, flash flooding, and storm damage. Just last night, 2 tornadoes touched down in Jefferson and Ballard County. Former UK student Sophia Rosing, who was caught on camera exclaiming racial slurs at resident advisor Kyla Spring, was sentenced to jail for 12 months for physical assault. Now, after 4 months, she's asking for an early release.
We are here today to send a message that what we're seeing happen with the Trump administration and with Kentucky's General Assembly isn't reflective of Lexington's values. Here in Lexington, we rely on federal dollars for our local government to keep our streets up to date, to keep our infrastructure intact, to help feed our hungry, to help house our unhoused. And we are seeing devastating funding cuts in the public sphere and in the nonprofit sphere that are leaving Lexingtonians out to dry.
While Curtis wants to send a clear message to the Trump administration, other protesters like Meg Dumaine say it's about upholding our nation's founding principles.
For me, it's about following the Constitution and supporting the Constitution and standing up for what my ancestors fought and died for, and many other people's as well.
While protesters claim the Trump administration is destroying the values of America and tanking the U.S. economy, the president says these decisions will only prove beneficial to the country.
I think it's going very well. It was an operation, like when a patient gets operated on, and it's a big thing. The markets are going to boom, the stock is going to boom, the country is going to boom, and the rest of the world wants to see, is there any way they can make a deal?
Even though the president claims his administration's decisions will prove well for America, protesters like Bobby Whiting feel these changes will only lead to trouble.
I'm just tired of the whole process right now. I'm tired of Trump. I'm just tired of it all. And I think at this rate, if this keeps up, we're going to be in real trouble. The whole country will be in real trouble.
Reporting for Wildcat News in Lexington, I'm Bryce Towle.
Fresh roomies, here we go.
Downtown Lexington is often a predictable experience, whether that be some good music, good food, or just a good time. But who's expecting a poem?
Okay, fair enough.
He's a poet, and he certainly knows it. Curtis Kaiser becomes wiser with each poem he will write, typing away in downtown Lexington during the night.
Kaiser got his free poetry idea after finding a 1961 Smith Corona Skywriter in his attic. So he blew the dust off.
And it worked, and it was pretty cool. So I started messing with them and kind of got 4 typewriters, and I thought, well, there's probably something I could do with these.
Now, Curtis has been typing free poetry for over a year and crafted nearly 300 individualized poems for strangers he meets.
Y'all think of a subject?
On the streets.
All right, cool.
Curtis says the key to his success is the fact that he doesn't make a schedule, because then it just turns into a job.
Oh yeah, you're definitely framing this.
The last thing I want to do is make this kind of fun activity really structured and like beholden to somebody, because it's like, well, that's what my day job is for. I don't want that here.
During Curtis's day job, he's a mechanical engineer on a helicopter structural modifications team. And outside of making poetry for others, he doesn't practice or read much poetry, saying he doesn't want to imitate the styles of others or take this too seriously and throw handcuffs on it.
I'm really trying to be genuine and just deliver something that comes from me to somebody else. So trying to make sure I don't turn to some kind of funky like street performer or something like that. But it's been all kinds of reactions. Never angry though.
I love it so much.
Bada bang.
So talented.
And he doesn't just do poems. Curtis can write, or should I say, type anything.
I can do limericks. I've done haiku before, and I've done like free verse. I've done fortune cookie kind of stuff. I've done anything and everything.
Curtis estimates a good 60% of people passing by stop and ask for a poem. He's even had people wait in line for up to 30 minutes. But once the poem is complete, the reactions show it's all worthwhile.
I love my poem. I think this is like a crazy gift that he can just hears a few words and then all of a sudden like can rhyme everything so quickly.
There's nothing more city than this.
I think it's a really cool idea. I think it's really fascinating to be able to meet other people and they start opening up because they will think about a topic that they really enjoy, or it's just a really funny thing to be able to get a funny poem about something that they enjoy.
So next time you're out and about, don't be surprised if you hear the question,
What would you want a poem about?
because you might just end up with one. In Lexington, reporting for the Kentucky Colonel, I'm Bryce Towle. It's Keeneland's opening day here and the start of their Fall Stars weekend in Lexington, Kentucky. Certainly a special and memorable day for Kentuckians, with most of the focus being on the horses and the races. A special kind of focus is on the people who make up this historical racetrack.
Horse coming in.
I'm unique is because I like talking to people. So I stand out here and I'm looking for people who've never been to the track before. So I help them find their bet. I never tell anybody what to bet, because then they'll come back and say, hey, I lost all my money. But I help them find their bet, how to understand it, and how to feel comfortable going up to the window and making their bet for the first time. Because for some people, it's a little intimidating.
Let's go!
Whether it be betting, horse racing, or indulging in alcoholic beverages, everyone who comes to Keeneland has their thing. But for some people, that thing is simply those around them.
I've never been here without people that I loved. And so I feel like if I didn't come here without those people, then it wouldn't be that fun. You know, it's the people that make it. You've got a lot of good characters around here. Everybody's wearing different things. Everybody is from different areas, but we all share a common ground of this race right here, the great Commonwealth of Kentucky, and the dirt. Because we're all come from it and we're all going right back to it one day.
With so many things happening all around you at once at Keeneland, the atmosphere of opening day can be a bit of a blur. But for a certain two people, this opening day will definitely be hard to forget.
We're getting married tomorrow at the apiary. We've been together for 3 years, and I'm just so excited. We spent our rehearsal day today at Keeneland, opening day. This has been something that we look forward to every year.
Beautiful.
Definitely a memorable and beautiful day here at Keeneland as they wrap up their opening day here in Lexington, Kentucky. As always, reporting for the Kentucky Colonel, I'm Bryce Towle. This is no Jedi mind trick. This is the Lexington SABER League, a group that trains in performance-driven improv dueling inspired by Star Wars.
So what we do is theatrical dueling. And the premise of it was basically some nerds got together one day and they're like, we want to be able to put on these movie quality, really cool, really intense lightsaber duels without having to say, I'm going to hit you in your shoulder, then I'm going to hit you there, then I'm going to do a cool spin. That takes way too much time, way too much planning. No one has all the time for that.
So if they don't plan it out, how do they do it? Well, the group practices in 8 forms that correspond to characters in the franchise, starting with the first form, Shicho, then Makashi, Suresu, Ataru, Shiin or Jimso, Juyo, Nimin, and finally, Vapod.
So I mix between Anakin's form, Jimso, and then Vapod, which is Mace Windu's form.
So you're advanced.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, yeah. Let's roll.
The next step in becoming a Jedi Master or a Sith Lord is learning how to phase, a term described by the group as representing how to switch from offense to defense while in a duel.
So, for example, if I want to switch from defense to offense really, really quickly, I'll simply dodge a strike. If a strike passes by me, doesn't hit my saber, doesn't hit me, I can go right into attacking him. So it adds a little bit of suddenness, you know.
The group meets every Wednesday from 5:30 to 8 o'clock in Woodland Park or in the lawn by the Gatton Student Center. And while there may only be a few members in the Lexington SABER League, the group says there's more just like them all over.
Within Kentucky, there's a surprisingly long history of lightsaber groups that do this kind of fighting. The whole defense to offense thing, phasing and dodging and all of that, that was invented back in 2006 by a few guys that were up in Moorhead. Since then, it's grown and groups have just popped up all over Kentucky, originating from that main group.
With groups all around, anyone is welcome to join. And if newcomers are concerned about their lack of Star Wars knowledge, there's no need to worry.
Of course you think, oh, this is a Star Wars group. Everyone's going to know Star Wars. Everyone's going to know every little bit about Star Wars. No, I've met people who could kick my butt to this day that have not seen a single Star Wars movie. and it shocks me.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is fantastic.
Whether you're new to the franchise or been in love with the galaxy far, far away since you were young, the league brings more together than just Sabers of Light.
These people are kind of like my second family. Even though we treat each other like kind of garbage, we all actually love each other. When we fight each other, it isn't out of hate. It's out of somewhat respect for each other. It's our dueling is our form of communication.
Reporting in Lexington for Wildcat News, I'm Bryce Towle.